Cormac Watters, the General Manager for Infor in Europe. So Infor is an enterprise software provider for manufacturing and non-manufacturing companies. We have about 90,000 customers across the world and 30,000 are in manufacturing. So what we do is take large-scale enterprise software for all your business processes and try to make it more attractive, quicker to implement, and actually make it somewhat more usable by the current generation. So Infor is proud to support the EEF conference for the last 3 years, and hopefully we'll do it for a lot longer. I think the world is moving quite fast around us, and technology is playing a huge part in that. From an enterprise software perspective, that technology is now moved into what they call digital, which is a word that everybody uses and no one quite defines. So what it really means to us is, why don't we try to use the cloud, which is a means of making sure all the infrastructure requirements are managed for you. You don't buy this software, you pay a rental or subscription fee, and therefore all your upgrades happen automatically. And use mobile devices. So try to take the consumer grade IT that we're all used to with our iPhones and Androids and bring it into the workforce. That's what's driving a lot of the efficiency now, is that very, very rarely these days do you have to go on a training course to learn how to use our software. It should be intuitive because that's what you're used to with your apps at home. And if we can continue to do that, then I think we'll get even more and more performance improvements from the actual use of the software in the workplace. So we, Infor, are an ERP vendor, but we're also looking after all the applications in the enterprise, going from the traditional ERP, but also to talent management, HR, and business intelligence, and artificial intelligence. So what's driving that change is we found most of our customers would prefer to have a single suite of software that easily connects and integrates and is open to all the users of their business to make that same kind of common experience relevant. Why HR? Well, in the current climate, with the scarcity of resources, talent science and recruiting the right people is actually one of the most important and strategic challenges that we all face. So our software happens to have some very key advantages to enable you to not just look at the academic qualifications or technical qualifications of the candidate, but how do they fit from a behavioral and attitude perspective into your organization and work better with the existing team and the team that you want to build. And those softer things are really perfect for the artificial intelligence and HR suite of software worlds that we're in today. When we saw that opportunity, we decided that it's time to bring it in. So as well as doing MRP runs, we're now looking at the softer side of how to recruit and how to retain in this environment. 100% technology makes a difference recruiting new talent. I'm lucky enough to have 3 kids that are of the age of 25 down to 18. They'd be mortified if I said you're going to work and use a green screen. You got to type in these commands and long-winded strings of sentences. They just would look at me and think I'm from the dark ages. So technology has to move to make it more relevant, applicable, and attractive to the next generation. Therefore, it needs to be more app-based. It needs to have more intuitive. So it's important that we actually not only recruit the right people, but we make the environment be appropriately interesting to retain them. So if we can persist with the old-fashioned green screen software, I think we're dead. So Brexit is coming, and that's going to have a range of impacts on all of us. I think part of it from a software provider's perspective is there's a degree of uncertainty about what that actually means. So what we need to be doing is making sure all of our customers are using our software today in a way that enables us to provide the updates that are needed to make them compliant in the new world. What's going to be needed to track and trace customs, imports, exports, duty. That's going to be a different world from an EU context than it is today. So the software needs to be providing that standard functionality to make that reporting easier, rather than adding a burden. So if we can get our customers to use the later versions of the software, what we call in the cloud, which means that all the upgrades happen every quarter automatically, that's going to make that transition so much easier for the customer. And I think that's probably one of the key messages and the key learnings that we've discovered in the last few months in talking to customers about this, is that they want to be ready for future changes, even though they don't know what they are yet. So as well as making sure that the software provides the tools and techniques to manage the changes that are going to come, be they what they are, the other aspect from a post-Brexit world is going to be the scarcity of resources, of people. So how do we make sure that we're helping our customers be destinations of choice, employers of choice for those limited resources? And hence the focus on making the software It's going to sound a bit corny, beautiful, as well as simple to use. They're the keys for the future, I believe. So can we share any customer experiences in manufacturing? Well, we have 30,000 customers in manufacturing globally, some very traditional and some more of the recent incarnation with the latest versions of the software. We're not really at liberty to discuss individual customers because sometimes they don't like us to do that. But there's a range of new customers that are moving forward with the newer versions of the software, be that a brewery, be that a car manufacturer, be that a food and beverage company. The common ingredients that they all seem to have is a desire to make the project shorter, get it delivered with benefit quickly, so no longer the long multi-year traditional ERP projects. And if the project's taking more than 9 months, then you've got to question why, because the world would have changed in 9 months and what you're going live with is no longer relevant. So we're finding that there's a set of common ingredients. It's faster, more standard, put it in the cloud so we can keep current. And that's across all industries in the manufacturing space. Hope that helps.